It was a cold December night in 1972. In the heart of Belfast's Divis Flats, a mother of 10, a widow named Jean McConville, is dragged from her home by a gang of masked individuals. Her children, terrified and helpless, watch as their mother is bundled into a van and vanishes into the darkness. This was not a random act of violence. It was a chilling, calculated abduction that would become one of the most enduring and painful mysteries of the troubles, a crime that tore a family apart and exposed the brutal, hidden face of conflict. For decades, her fate remained a whispered rumor, a gaping wound in the history of Northern Ireland, until the sea finally gave up its secret. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. Also coming soon to Jean McConville was born Jean Murray in 1934 and was a Protestant who converted to Catholicism after marrying Arthur McConville. Following sectarian intimidation, the family, including their 10 children, moved to the Catholic-dominated Divis Flats in West Belfast. Tragically, Arthur died of cancer in 1971, leaving Jean to raise their large family alone in a time of intense political and sectarian strife. The official narrative that emerged later suggested that Jean was targeted because she was wrongly accused of being an informer for the British Army. This accusation, vehemently denied by her family, stemmed from an alleged incident where she was seen comforting a wounded British soldier outside her home. In the volatile atmosphere of 1970s Belfast, such an accusation was a death sentence. On that fateful night in December 1972, a group of up to 12 people, men and women, forced their way into her flat. Despite the desperate pleas of her children, they forcibly removed Jean, her daughter. Agnes later recalled the terrifying sounds of her mother's screams as she was taken away. The Provisional IRA, the group responsible for the abduction, initially denied any involvement, propagating the lie that Jean had simply abandoned her family and was lying low. This denial, maintained for nearly 3 decades, compounded the suffering of her children, who were left to fend for themselves and were eventually split up into care homes. The truth about Jean McConville's fate was finally acknowledged in 1999, when the IRA admitted to her murder and the secret burial of 9 people, collectively known as the Disappeared. This admission was a small step towards closure, but the location of her body remained a secret. The Independent Commission for the Location of Victims Remains (ICLVR) was established to confidentially receive information and locate the bodies. It was not until August 2003, 31 years after her disappearance, that Jean McConville's remains were discovered by chance on Shelling Hill Beach in County Louth, Republic of Ireland. A storm had uncovered a shallow grave. Forensic examination confirmed she had been shot in the back of the head. The discovery brought a measure of peace to her children, but the fight for justice continued. The case became a focal point for the legacy of the Troubles, intertwining with high-profile political figures and the controversial peace process. Investigations into her murder have been fraught with political complexity and legal challenges, including the arrest and subsequent release of prominent figures. The official investigation by the Northern Ireland Police Ombudsman later dismissed the claim that Jean was an informer, concluding that she was an innocent victim of a brutal, unlawful killing. Her story remains a powerful symbol of the personal cost of political conflict and the long, arduous road to truth and reconciliation. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.